Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all doing well. And today I'm going to be giving you my outlook, right? I'm not really feeling well, so I won't be explaining much. I'm just literally giving you my outlook for the week. This gap right there is my draw of liquidity, right? Before market does anything else, either today, either tomorrow, as long as it is this week, I expect this to be reached, right? And how is it supposed to be reached? You can see price rejected that low with an SMT on EU, and clearly my anticipations for my buyers, my growth liquidity is towards this very high, right? This very candle range high. So my weekly bias is bullish until this growth liquidity is reached. Once it's reached, possible to have a bearish bias, but we don't care about that because that hasn't even happened. So clearly, that's the expectation that I have. If price is to create lower prices, remember to become a good analyst, you must also have an opposing side, right, of your outlook, right, so that you don't cry when you see price do the opposite, right. You must also have a face view, right, a ground view of what can possibly happen on the other hand. And if price is going to probably create lower prices, it still has to reach this fair value gap because in a bearish order flow, you expect either highs to be rejected, like this CRT high right there, or a gap to be filled, right? That's simply the expectation. So I'm bullish, right, until this high is reached, until that high is reached as well. Also being conscious of the discrepancies that can arise, right? SMT. Now to move on to the daily. The daily is pretty much the same, but you can see a much more broken down view, right? Things start to make more sense. We had this down close candle, right, which is a weekly key level, which I refined and aligned, which still remains a high time frame key level. And we had this candle, this CRT candle that formed just above it. And potential CRTs, if you didn't know this, are formed around key levels, right? Higher time frame key levels, which they are aligned to as well. The daily candle range is always aligned with the weekly key level. So if a range forms just above the key level, you expect manipulation into the range and your trough liquidity and expectations is towards the 50% and the opposite end. So that means I'm bullish until price reaches the CRT high. We also have an SMT down there. You can see the same Wednesday candle wasn't purged. So that means I'm still bullish, right? I'm bullish. I'm bullish. So that's it for this week. These are my expectations. So I'm just literally spoon feeding you at this point. But for the fools, they'll think I'm spoon feeding them. But for the astute must dig deeper into what I said and um, and use what I said as a way to learn and improve your arsenal, right? Not to pattern trade to look for a trade just based off what I said, right? Think critically. And another thing that I always tell the uninformed, the ones with the misconceptions, is that analysis and execution, these are two different things. This is not an entry model, what I gave you. What I gave you is flow of liquidity and a bias for you to work with, right? That can now allow you to look for an execution framework. There is no execution, forget about execution without this first that I gave you. What I gave you is a foundation, right? And there's no house without one. think I've made things clear. So you look for your entry model after what I've gave you. Of course, I've already gave you, so that will be your job to look for an execution, right? If you're lucky, I might give a live call, but this is what's important. So I'm delighted to have given you what's mostly important than everything else. You're welcome. So until then, we will meet again, of course, and until then, enjoy. And if you found this insightful, please subscribe, comment, right? I need activity on this channel, on my videos, in order for me to keep on posting, right? No activity from you guys, then no posting. No liking, no commenting, then I won't be posting. But if you keep on showing your positivity, right? Showing me that what I'm giving you is useful. If you think maybe that it's unuseful, you can say it again, right? At least it's better to say something than to not say anything at all. Then another thing is, of course, the rabbit hole goes deeper than you think. This is just at the iceberg, tip of the iceberg. So if you want to learn and you want to reach me, you could look for my Twitter, my X, right? Weird by saying my ex. Yes, my ex. You can look it up as MSMFX, right? MSMFX. You get to my page, and once you've got into my page, there's a link in my bio right there. That's where you can possibly get access to getting me or to reaching me out. So please, until we meet again, enjoy. Watch this diligently, of course. Rewatch it if you have to, so that you could be on the right track. So cheers.